You've joined Prophecy Talk for analysis of world events and unfolding Bible prophecy, brought to light by prophecy expert and author Erika Gray of www.erikagray.com.
Welcome to Prophecy Talk, where you come for real Bible prophecy news and analysis. You never know what you send me will end up as a show, and what I may see on your Facebook, Jeff, that ended up as a podcast. Hi, Jeff. Thank you also, Jeff, for being a very faithful listener of mine. But yes, what I commented on or liked on your Facebook actually ended up as a podcast, because it was a great news article that you had shared. So don't be surprised, Jeff, if some of your stuff shows up in podcasts. And the topic of tonight's show was sent to me in a message. And I've had another topic that I've covered similar to this that also was sent to me in a message. So this particular video that I'm sharing below was sent to me in a message. And someone, of course, wanted to alert me to this. And I love you guys for doing that. And unbeknownst to you, some of the things end up as show ideas. So this is really important that I talk about this, because I listened to this particular video. And first of all, the video's got like 500,000 views since September. And if you listen to the guy, I'm going to just tell you what he does. I assume he was probably a low-level Freemason, but the rest of the information that he gives in this broadcast, he would not have possibly have gotten, because he would have never reached the higher levels, and he didn't reach the higher levels, and his presentation is a bit questionable. It's actually not a bit questionable. It is questionable. And he didn't reach the higher levels, yet he knows all about the higher levels. And what he also relays in this is classic, typical end-time cliches: New World Order, one world government, Rothschilds buying the presidents. So I need to really talk about this to you guys. Now, he's got 500,000 views. I'm probably not going to get but a measly maybe 50 views, but that's okay, because what you're about to get is the truth. And I may even lose some subscribers because of what I'm going to relay. But I need to tell you guys about the Freemasons, and I need to talk to you about these conspiracy theories, because you know, let's first go back to the Apostle Paul. The Apostle Paul in 2 Corinthians actually talked about having believers or false prophets among them who were coming with false teachings, and that was a major issue for them at that time. And it's especially an issue in end-time Bible prophecy. And we see this as well, including you had the demon-possessed that was following Paul, that was actually saying to him, you know, we know you're teaching about the Son of God, or something like that. And it sounded like they were believers, but they weren't. And Paul had to rebuke the spirit. They were actually very disruptive. And this especially takes place in Bible prophecy. And there is just so much false teaching. Well, let me tell you about the Freemasons. God opened an amazing door for me when I was in Europe through my European Union ventures and events and things that I've gone over to Europe for, so that I can be the journalist and reporting back to you, my audience. And God opened up an amazing door, and I was able to meet and actually get to know a 97th level Freemason. And this individual was very active, very high up in the political orders, political establishment. And was very happy to relay to me about the Freemasons. And so I learned quite a bit. And what I learned is that basically the Freemasons are a group. There is no conspiratorial group. And what you'll notice when you listen to this fellow is this fellow, when they mention the Council on Foreign Relations, these groups that they mention, they don't mention the European Council on Foreign Relations. They don't mention the European groups. You know, the European politics is so diverse from U.S. politics. It is a totally different political scene. So immediately when you have somebody telling you that at the highest levels, and they're naming just U.S. political groups, something's wrong. And so anyway, that's what this fellow does. He names the Council on Foreign Relations and some of the other catchphrases. And of course, the Rothschilds are buying everybody. Well, you not only have the Rothschilds buying, but you also have George Soros. And this individual talked about the presidents all being bought. Well, I can tell you one thing. Soros did not buy Donald Trump. He did his best to help get Hillary Clinton elected as the U.S. president. So for all of these individuals' money, they cannot control what is in God's hands. And God is the one that controls world politics. And this was relayed to you a short time ago in my video of the Beast of Revelation from the book of Hosea, where God says, I will come at you as a lion, a bear, and a leopard. And that's making the short of it. But basically, that's your Beast of Revelation, which is also given its authority by Satan. So we see that God is the one that controls political events. We also see from the book of Daniel that God is the one who establishes presidents, prime ministers, kings, emperors, whatever. It is God who puts these leaders into position. Now, yes, Satan owns the kingdoms of this world, but it is God who is responsible ultimately and who is in control of who is in. So there is no Rothschild controlling. They don't have that much power. And if you give a family that much power, or you give Soros that much power, you're taking it away from God, who is the one who has created heaven and earth and who determines who comes to power and who doesn't come to power for his purposes. You see, the last days, there's one reference in the scriptures where the last days are actually seen as from the time of the resurrection and afterwards, because all of the events that were political and geopolitical led to the end time events that I now report on and others report on today. So let's go back to the Freemasons. So I just wanted to just go at this false prophets argument. Not to mention, it's almost comical because he swears actually in the middle of the broadcast, but 500,000 views, folks. He's got 500,000 views. He's not credible, but he's got 500,000 views. And I don't doubt that he probably was in the group. And I don't doubt that he was at a lower level. And I don't doubt that he's probably some kind of, it sounds like he is a believer. But what I do doubt is the rest of what he's teaching is false prophecy. And he is a false prophet teaching something that is so serious, that is so important in end time teachings, that you're misleading people into looking at something that's not even geopolitically possible, and it's not even scriptural. So, but let me tell you about my Freemason friend. We talked quite a bit, and it sounds like, based on what he relayed to me, that it is a group where if you are going to enter the political realm, or whatever realm within a corporation, if you want to achieve the higher ranks, whether it's politically or maybe within a corporation, it is a group that you want to belong to because it's almost like, I'm not sure of the exact word for it, but it's a group you would want to belong to because you can network within the group and get to know people. But it's also very, very diverse. You have many different faiths in the Freemasons. You have many different beliefs, and within the beliefs, you don't have agreement. You have Freemasons who absolutely butt heads, don't agree within politics. So this whole idea of a conspiracy that's worldwide, that's taking place, is absolutely ridiculous. You cannot get two people to even fully agree, let alone you're going to now get a group that's going to go from European politics, which is completely diverse from US politics, and they're all agreeing and they're all conspiring. Now, are there the symbols? Yes. I guess basically it was my observation that they're truth seekers. And they are, a lot of the body of Freemasons, or a lot of the individuals are very intellectual. So they are searching. And they're searching everywhere for any kind of enlightenment or truth that they can share with one another. Have they gone into the occult? Absolutely. Have they gone into, they've gone into it all, probably, from the ancient societies to the occult beliefs to, I don't know that they're fully aware that they are occult beliefs. I think there is also a deception on what some of those beliefs are, but isn't that deception in every area when we deal with unbelievers? So let me tell you about my Freemason friend. He's a friend, and I pray for him. I actually was thrilled that I got to give him the gospel, and he is on my prayer list, my 97th degree Freemason friend. And he offered to introduce me to the highest level Freemason in Europe. And probably when I go back, I will also take him up on that, to meet, because it was very enlightening for me to be around him, for him to share how things work at the highest levels. And I was even seeing within his political group the disagreement from one politician to the next. So we also talked about the conspiracy and how the Freemasons are viewed. And he said that, I mean, it's common knowledge that they know they're viewed as all this conspiracy stuff, but they just kind of snicker at it. And I think what has happened to the evangelicals is that we've lost credibility because of all the garbage, at least within Bible prophecy. Show me one Bible prophecy person who is able to cross over and get into any area politically or be listened to, and they're not, because half of the stuff that they're spewing is garbage. And these conspiracy theories, or this stuff with the Freemasons and the whole bit, the Illuminati, the groups, wait a minute, the Bilderbergers, the Trilateral Commission, and I can keep going and going. It's just absolute nonsense. Now, I'm not saying that I condone what's taught within the groups as they delve into searching for truth. But I don't judge them. I don't put them into a box. The individual that I dealt with is a human being who Jesus died for, who needs witnessing to and needs prayer. And I think what happens is when we treat the Freemasons like Garbage? That's what we're treating them like pieces of garbage. Oh, they're conspirators. Oh, they're Satanists. They're this, they're that. Don't treat anybody like that who Christ died for. Anyway, so I wanted to come on here because, of course, I'm sent that. And what does God do? But God opens a door for me to get among and meet somebody whose name I can't divulge because it's just a journalist thing. But that's my experience. And even the piece with Lucifer, I talked to this individual about and told him that you don't realize what you're doing. And I said, and I mean, I would hate to see anything terrible happen because of what he's inviting in through that particular piece. And so I just wanted to share this. And I don't know what your thoughts are going to be. I know that there's been so much dogma within the evangelical circles on Freemasons and the conspiracy theories that someone like myself would be considered a heretic. But I will tell you one thing. I don't condone, but I don't judge. And I listen and I observe and I make analysis, and then I provide to you, my audience, the truth and what's happening. And I can tell you, this individual also did state that the Rothschilds and the families with a lot of money do pull a lot of strings because of so there was agreement there, but not to the degree that it is taught among evangelicals. And it's tragic what has happened within the evangelical community and Bible prophecy teachings. But then again, I want to say that there's doors that have opened for me, and those doors remain open, and I have contacts for various things because I don't hold to conspiracies, because my analysis is geopolitical and I'm taken more seriously. And this individual actually introduced me as a Bible scholar. So I just wanted to talk about that. That's my experience. So I actually have a Freemason, 97th degree Freemason friend. And I had some very interesting intellectual conversations with him, and I just wanted to share that. And he is on my prayer list, and I pray for him regularly. So I hope this was helpful. I'm here if any of you have any comments. Please, if there's any comments and questions, I'm going to stay on. I'm sure some of you, this is very, very different what I'm now saying, because what I'm saying is going against what many evangelicals teach. And by the way, they're teaching it and they're getting information from really bad sources. I talked to an actual source. I mean, an actual person who was that high up. And I can give you the credentials, but then it would be too easy to look him up. But he's up there. And that's all that I can say is I don't like really what's happened among evangelicals and what's being taught. And check out that video. You'll see what I'm talking about and if there's any real credibility there. And it's all the same. It's almost sounding cliche at this point, what's being taught about, it's all the catchwords: one world order, one world religion, Rothschilds, puppets, let's see, I can keep going, Council on Foreign Relations. Well, I'm meeting some of those people. I've met some of those people. Some of those people are in my contact list, at least in the European Council on Foreign Relations. And I've posed the conspiracy question, and it's not. And that's all I can tell you. And unfortunately, this little video is probably not going to get any views. My videos don't get any views because I'm not coming out with the garbage. But that's okay. God will bring to my channel the people who are supposed to come to my channel, and we'll give them this truth. So that's it. And for more on end time Bible prophecy, how it is coming about geopolitically, very important word, geopolitics, because that's how prophecy is unfolding. Oh, by the way, on the idea of a conspiracy, he did say that in Italy there was a group within Italian politics who tried to steer and conspire to steer some of what was going on there. But that was like 2% of the group versus what is being taught. So that was and he was really very helpful trying to find where maybe this may have come from. And then there was the idea, well, anyway, that's it. I think I've chatted enough, and I don't see that anybody's come on. Have I stumped? I think have I lost people? Uh-oh. Did I not tell you what you wanted to hear? Did I not go on about, let's see, the Freemasons and, oh, wait a minute, this guy's got the Freemasons like drinking urine and all kinds of things. So it's really a doozy, and they're all witches, and they're all, what else in the video below? He lumps in the Hollywood with the other. And listen, I'm the first one to call some of those musicians, you know, Baal, prophets of Baal, but it's a little much. Anyway, it looks like nobody is saying a word. It would have been interesting to have some feedback. And meanwhile, for more information on Bible prophecy, check out my website for more real analysis. And you guys are getting real analysis. Subscribe to my channel, Prophecy Talk Today.